All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry about a little bit of a delay start today. I was on the phone and I was like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. And they were just talking my ear off. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into things. Obviously, a major amount of movement. We saw that. You can see the dollar yen 344. Really funny, not funny, but interesting look on that one. When you look at the chart, we talked about what's possible, what this kind of looks like. It didn't do it in its one burst, but it did actually make it all the way down to the target of where we were talking about. So there's that. Um, Obviously, everything is completely skewed right now. The Fed came in yesterday, and we were talking about it. It looked like it was setting up for a dollar weakness based trade yesterday. Everything was kind of moving towards that direction, and that's exactly what we got. And basically, why it was weak was because the Fed announced that most likely they're going to cut 7.5, right? Not 100, but 7.5. I still, honestly, again, the comments that they made, I don't know. I feel like they're just placating the market at this point, especially with today's data. But the comments were that we're looking to cut 0.75. Our expectations are down a little bit from what they were. Market's still very resilient, and something like the basic comments we've seen. Now, with that said, look at the retail sales today, right? It's interesting to talk about, yeah, we expect a soft landing and stuff like that. Yeah, you expected negative core sales, negative retail sales, and both of them are positive. And the crazy part about this is, and again, I was just reading inside of a Yahoo article, retail sales is broken down. I think it's 13 or 18 different segments, right? You know what segment was down that actually made this lower? Gasoline purchases. And we know, again, gasoline's getting cheaper, but people bought less gasoline. That was one of the biggest detractors was gasoline prices or gasoline costs, right? It was down like 2.9%. We know, again, remove a lot of the gasoline stuff, but the overall retail sales, if this had been normal gasoline purchases, this would even been even higher. So kind of goes back to it. I don't know what kind of game is the Fed playing over there. Again, things are moving back. They're talking about, yeah, it's gonna be a safe landing. It's like, are we gonna have any landing? I mean, Powell's talking about, yeah, we had surprisingly strong growth, and we don't see that really changing much. It's like, so then why are we cutting it if we don't necessarily need to? There as it is, and it's interesting. They still put projections out there and said that by the end of next year we'd be back by like a 2.4, right? And then by the end of 2025 we'd be back down to like a 2.2, right? That's 2 years from now. A lot can happen in 2 years. We're that restrictive that it's going to take 2 years to drop 1%. Like, come on. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that that 7.5 comes in. Yeah, and even even the unemployment games was not that bad. So yeah, yeah. Is what it is. UK didn't really say much. Euro really didn't say much. Again, you're seeing those big movement out there. Euro pound, you can see it's -1. You're like, why is that there? This is all dollar-based movement right now. All dollar-based movement. And again, they didn't change anything. It was just the comment and the acknowledgement of what was probably going to come. What? No, I'm busy now. Go. No, stop. You're not going to eat more chocolate. Go. He's learned a new trick. For those of you that are keeping up with the Kip saga, trying to drive the tricycle off the couch wasn't enough. We have like a bar height table. I always liked it because it's harder for the dog to try to, I have a Great Dane, so it's harder for the dog to get on the, to steal food with a bar height table. It's just those higher ones. Well, Kip yesterday, I was trying to keep Jin's gingerbread house that has candy all over it away from him. Put it on the middle of the table. I was like, all right, we're good here. Melissa was sitting down there, doing something on her phone. Next thing you know, we turn around and Kip is not only pulled himself up on the bar height chair, but then stood on the table and then walked across the table to go get her her gingerbread. And then as Melissa tried to come get him, he ran to the other side. And as she tried to go to the other side, he ran back to the other side. So yeah, my 2-year-old now can get up on the table and run around on the table. So winning his parents, let me tell you. But yeah, so again, I think this retail sales says everything that we need to know right now. People can say we need to cut. Oh my God, we're going to kill the economy. We're not even remotely starting to kill the economy, right? We've seen core inflation continue to go positive. We've seen core retail sales. They continue to surprise to the top side. And again, the Fed should have had this data yesterday, but I don't know. It doesn't, they say we're gonna let it be data dependent. Well, the data dependent is not there, right? We keep seeing surprise ups, and yet they're like, yeah, we're gonna keep cutting. We're gonna keep cutting. It's just not there, and I feel like we're really going to have that entrenched inflation next year. So, you know, as far as the news today, that's it. Everything's out. Market should start kind of rebalancing itself. And again, are these justified movements? Yeah. I mean, I think putting the actual, giving an actual order date or expectation of what the cuts are going to be, I think is what the market was looking for. And again, we were seeing dollar strength, and it was holding that 104 number pretty strongly forever, for a really, really long time. Tomorrow we have all the flash data coming in, and I think it's important to note, things are really not changing much in France and in Germany. Maybe flash services punches over a little bit, maybe. But overall in the European Union, 45 and 49, I don't think we're jumping here. And then the European, again, services PMI is supposed to kind of stay the same. It's still at that risk of maybe jumping down, and then flash services there. And then again, manufacturing, 2, industrial production, supposed to go better. I mean, again, positive industrial production, but we're killing the economy. What's going on? Why is that positive, right? Yeah. And then obviously right here, manufacturing, it's technically still showing below, but it's going more positive. If manufacturing pops over 50, we're showing expansion. So what landing are they talking about? Where is the overburden? Where is the over restrictive nature, right? I just don't see it. I don't see it. Again, people are spending money. And again, I don't know why it's really strange. Like Black Friday, I don't know, maybe everybody has taken advantage of all the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that kind of stuff. Maybe December retail sales numbers will be horrible, right? Maybe everybody has bought, right? I can tell you, Amazon told me yesterday, um, I've saved $144 and 12 hours of shopping time. I don't know how they figure out I've saved 12 hours of shopping time, but that's what they're telling me. They're like, your holiday total so far, I've saved $144 and saved 12 hours of my time. So maybe completely made up, but either way, I'm not done yet. So I'm still spending, but maybe December will be horrible. I don't know. That's kind of where we're at. We'll see. And then again, BOE, look at this, right? Pushes back on calls of early 2024 rates. Remember I said that, I kind of expected that maybe one more and then the euro cuts, and then the one right after that, the pound cuts. That's kind of where we're sitting, right? And they're like, no, 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 it's not going to be early. You're already in a recession. Your data has not looked great. Like we believe, still work to be done. Can be in the form of holding, right? Again, getting pressure, right? Inflation path is flatter than before, lowers risk of expectations. Oh, hold on, one second here. De-anchoring should absolutely not lower our guard. Agreed by a very, very large majority of council, although some preferred a different timetable. Oh, decline in PEP reinvestment. We did not discuss rate cuts. Liar. Because everybody's discussing, whether we're there yet, right? To say that we didn't discuss them, maybe she didn't discuss when they should do them, but they're talking about it. Come on, really? Nobody in that entire chamber was like, yeah, come on. She's already actually made comments about it, right? There's already been comments made about the data and, again, type of landings. There's a plateau, a whole beach between raising rates and cutting rates. Yeah, I mean, again, she's not wrong, but again, they've been holding for quite a while right now, and we know that the data doesn't look great, particularly in Germany. So, yeah, yeah. And again, their inflation never really got as high either. So, it is what it is. So, between today and, again, tomorrow, again, some decent data out there. Again, it's been 2 days chock full of nuts of, big news releases. Tomorrow, a little bit more difficult. And again, today is basically just the hangover of the Fed acknowledging that, hey, listen, yeah, we're looking at, 3 cuts next year. But it's funny. They mentioned 3, but yet a week ago, everybody's like, nah, it's going to be 6. It's going to be 5. And someone's like, I don't know how many times they think they're going to do stuff. So yeah. But right now, again, massive amount of movements, 352, slightly above a daily ATR, but you're not really seeing overall something like the euro pound. You're not seeing tons of movement. Even the pound yen, again, this is more of a yen play. It's down, but you can see in the last hour it's starting to chip away at those totals. That 120 is dissipating rather quickly. And if you look at it, of all the big movement, I mean, dollar Swiss, we were sitting high. We talked about being high, trying to figure out something in there, but you got 194, even 137 over here. The pound yen is less than that. So you can see it's really just the dollar influence more than anything else. All right. So going across, any surprise that there was a monstrous drop up and down in the VIX? No, not at all. Right. I mean, getting absolute certainty. And again, it's not absolute because it's not like we're definitely going to do it, but acknowledging of what it was going to be takes a big cap off. And the fact that the markets went crazy yesterday, absolutely No surprise. We saw the dollar lining up for it. So again, I still don't think it's the right call, but again, that's why I'm not a Fed president. I have been 100% correct about my transitory statements, and then a couple of the other things that that Yellen has said. Um, right now, not much out there. Dollar is down. We're just kind of now leveraging down to the 102 mark. Obviously, yesterday we went from the 104 all the way down to 102.75, 70, 80ish level, and then we got a little bit more today. As again, the lasting effect, the selling in here, and then it's like okay, it's weaker, right? And part of this weakness in here too is other countries not acknowledging, like, nah, it's too early to talk about that. It's like you've already talked about it. But because the US has actually already given a plan about it, that's why we're seeing this kind of dollar weakness come in. Let's bring this back onto the 30 minutes. Sorry. So right now the big question is, are we going to kind of stabilize ourselves at 102? Um, Historically, we are still pretty high. I mean, it used to be that it was like between like 94 and 98 was like insane, right? 98, you're like, oh my God, dollars at 98. And we're still holding up here. Now, obviously, a lot of weakness. It's already factored into the market at this point. There's, still some people trying to get in on this one. Seeing retail sales today, I mean, you look at the dollar, retail sales just, surprised at the top side on everything. And what did you see? You saw the dollar go down a little bit. Now, question is, are people over analyzing this? Are they looking at this and saying, the Fed had this data yesterday. They must have known. They probably did, but they're not supposed to say that they do, right? People are looking at this like, wait a second, man. All the retail sales data was great, and they were still like, nope, nope, gotta cut 3 times. It's hurting the economy. It's like, I don't know. And again, at all costs, they're going to try to avoid. And here's the thing: we already talked about it before. At all costs, they are going to try to avoid putting the economy into a recession. Um, in an election year, right? It's just kind of a given. Like at all costs, do not do that, right? A lot of political pressure. Go ahead, go. A lot of political pressure on that one too. Not do that. So, is Powell giving in? Maybe. No, that is busy. Go, go. Here, take this. Take this. Go ahead. Um, but yeah, I think right now, I think 102 is probably going to be the new 104. We'll probably bounce back and forth, kind of back and forth in this way. And I think that makes a lot of sense until we actually get a defined timeline of when that's really going to happen. Indices all in the green, right? Now, Russell is up the highest. Why is Russell up 2.7% and everything else is up 0.4, 0.3, zero point 0.2? Retail sales. People spending money. The little guys are making money. That's the most important thing. Hearing that they're cutting 3 times also. Again, it's kind of like a double whammy for the Russell right now. Russell up at 2024. We were talking about 1800 just a few days ago. And again, is it justified? 100%. Absolutely. Again, cutting rates will make it easier for them to be able to borrow money to kind of make ends meet, as well as people still spending tons of money. That's awesome for the Russell, right? They have the biggest benefit from retail sales. Okay, so it makes sense where it is. Up at 2025, it's probably a decent mark. The one bad thing now is the dollar. Yeah, dollar weak, down 0.9. Yeah, look at the commodities. All the commodities are up. So yeah, even though people aren't buying gas according to the retail sales, we're back up at 71.88. We're up 3.45%. Oil right now going the wrong direction. We talked about potentially closing above. Yeah. Uh, Not the direction we want. I'd wish we were talking about 65, not 71 or almost 72. It's there. And then even natural gas, again, why is natural gas higher? It's more of a dollar play than anything else, mild temperatures, right? But 237, it's like, gold. Gold was in 1980s. We were in a good spot. Now we're up at 2044, up zero point 0.8. Silver up at 24. Now, crazy. Now, with gold, if you told me gold was at, 2044 to 2050, and you said, okay, where is silver? Okay. My guess that silver would have been up at 25. I think silver's underperforming right now. I know we were like that 2250 mark, and now 24 seems like a big distance. I feel like it is, but I feel like we are going to start getting a pullback. Being at 2413, 2412, I feel like it's not going to be as strong, and I feel like it will start dipping back into those 23s rather soon. Maybe even today, just as people are, the rest of the people are getting profit out of that one. So, not bad. I thought silver would do more, right? I really, really did. It should be at 1.6 right now, not 1.3. But I feel like it should have gotten more of a push, and it's not right now. So, it is what it is. Aussie dollar. Any surprise? Now, again, we were looking for any type of spike on that one. And we said, look to see what happens. If we run all the way up, that would be great, right? We got to see what's going to happen. Wait for any type of a spike. Well, you can see it loaded up back down, right? Hour and a half before that news, it's like, oh, you know what? It found the buyers or found the sellers here, loaded up before the news. It's like, yep, it is going to be a weak dollar. And it just blew through. It was really, really strong. Didn't slow down. Went up 82 pips right away and took off. So the good thing about this is, again, it wasn't just a little bit of a pop. It was actually monumental news that was enough that we were able to get this to push. Now, we can take these levels off. It didn't even slow down in there. And again, I think it was justified on that. It did base and then punch back up again. Overall, right now, you can see we can take this guy off, which is awesome. Take that off. Take that off. I'm going to leave this on there right now. We're going to take this off. We're going to reverse this and go back from the bottom. We're going to go from here up. All right. So things I like about this one, right? We're sitting at a level right now. The old level now became where the 23.6. So it's kind of reversing off of it right now. Here's where I see a problem with this one. You got all this, right? Lower, 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 lower. And again, it's making an attempt now, but what's it going off of? I mean, we had great retail sales data. Why is it, where's it going? But with that said, we do have an area just below. And again, could it use that one? Maybe. Typically, though, when I see something like this, I'm like, look at that. There's a level of basing there. There's really a battle there, right? A little battle going back and forth. But what do we have below it? Nothing. Got nothing, right? This area is approximately 12 pips. I'm all over that one. Is this able to come back down to 65? Sure. I mean, we've talked about that level. What, do you want to sit my lap? No? You want to give me your plan? Okay. Oh, I see what you did. Here. You fell down the black hole of YouTube again. There. You want to sit on my lap? Is that what you want? Okay. Here, you can sit on my lap and watch it if you want. Come here. So what I'm looking for on this one is I'm looking for this one to turn and reverse back down again, right? You may say, well, why wouldn't it just stay up here this high? Well, Australia is going to start cutting as well. There's going to be comments about when they're going to cut. Everybody's going to be cutting pretty soon. And it's going to be the exact opposite we saw when we were trying to fight inflation, where everybody was raising and we see big moves. Again, the dollar financially is in a much better position. Our retail sales are still blowing it out. Australia data, not been so great. So in this case, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this to turn, roll, and then start to take a short in a reversal position back down again. I'd say profit taking is probably sitting about there, right? Kind of the top of the red candle, looking for that to push down. And again, 12 pips, and we actually have about 75 pips, 75.6, or depending on where I push it, 75 pips, right, that we have to overcome there. It's going to have to fight and chop through. Again, I think there'll be some profit taking come in. The United States is not sinking, right? There you go. There you go. There you go. So overall, I'd like for this one to come down. Again, a little spike right now. I don't think it's justified. It's got to move about 45 pips. It's got about a 31 pip daily ATR. I'm sorry, a 4-hour ATR. Again, we are seeing this here, right? Again, 23. There's a hit and a deeper hit there. The next hit comes down as technically hit number 3. So we're kind of waiting for this one to falter and then start to go below. But a drop below 66.52. I'm looking for this to come potentially all the way down to right here. Right? Whoops, wrong green. I'll see that green and it'll drive me insane. Looking along something along those lines. And again, we can still use that one. We're looking for a base through this level. We'll just leave that right there right now. So yeah, so that's what we're looking for right now. Does it have the ability to go higher? It does, but it's going to have to chop through a lot. The question is there's no more news today. So how much more can we really push through? How much more weakness, right? Big psychological move up. And again, we got some help in the late night overnight stuff. So again, I'd be looking for reversal. There's a lot of selling up here. Let's see, there's actually a level sitting right above there. Right, we can remove this. 78 got tagged. Right. So we know that we have a small. It's a decent level. It's okay. A little touch there, and that's what we're playing with. So even if we manage to chop through this entire area here, we do have a level sitting right up top. So yeah, I mean maybe we look for RBA meeting notes. Because remember, the RBA is going to talk about when they're going to start doing things as well, right? And that's coming in a couple days. Actually on Monday. So, again, I like it high. I think there's going to be a short trade coming out of the Aussie dollar pretty soon with a high confidence. Kind of like that one. And that's all set. Aussie yen. We talked about an Aussie yen coming through. We're like, yeah, like this, like this, like this. It kind of drove up, and we were looking for the basing in this one. Your basing came in here. There's where your basing came in at. And it kind of shot up and then pushed down. So overall, yesterday we were looking for target down here at 94.92. We were kind of looking for a better hit through there. It went down, and then you guys can see it ended up going past, and it's sitting a little bit above right now, chopping back and forth. So, this guy's out. Um, Target is hit. There's a little bit of a Harry Potter here, but it's not. Again, it's another one of those situations where we had Big Wick, Big Wick, Big Wick again, and we're tagging a few times. So I'm assuming it's going to break and continue to push lower in there. Um, but kind of did what we expected. We were shooting for 94.92, and we got down to 94.60. So it went about 30 pips lower than what we needed it to go to. Right. We just said, hey, listen, be cautious, get out. And again, we had one spike below, but then both these got supported on it. So not bad. Not bad. Overall, kind of doing what we expected. Is there any big trend here? Nah, I mean, this is a yen proxy. And if anything, look at it. It's consolidating in here, and we're consolidating in here. So it's kind of winding itself up again. But a wine this time will probably be more for Australian news than anything else. And who knows? Maybe this is the weekend that the BOJ finally decides to do something. Right? You never know. I doubt it, but you never know. The BOJ they'll do those things when you least expect it. What are you doing here? What are you? Hold on one sec. What do you guys got? All right. Sorry, he's all over my place. Looks like dollar Swiss just an alert just went off the dollar Swiss. So yeah, so we're looking for here. As far as what's next on this one, there's a lot on the top and the bottom. It's really consolidating back down from all the yen kind of playing back and forth again. Maybe this one sets back up. The problem with this is it's like there's a step, 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 and we're punching in. Wait till we actually start getting a trend. Right now, we're not trending. We're just consolidating in. We're kind of recoiling the spring, for lack of a better word. So not really a whole lot you want to trade on this side. Euro dollar. Okay. Again, euro dollar, we talked about big spikes up and down. It did go past and it did pull back again. So again, I think that news was monumental enough. We talked about if we can pull up and stop and hold in there, and we didn't. We ended up pushing past. So funny enough, though, it did end up spending from we were sitting right here. It did kind of load itself up back into that same level, and that was the takeoff point. So yeah, it kind of did what we expected it to do. We can remove this now because again, it did not stop there with the new spike. It was not a little spike; it was actually a legitimate spike. Um, we pulled back again. Oh, this was an old Harry Potter. That's why. Okay, I was like, wait, why shouldn't have stopped there? Let's pull this off because the 78 is there. We do know we have a top coming in right here. And again, not the first time it's been there. It's been there a few times before in the past. Um, let's run fibs on this and see if it gives us any good levels for upcoming trades. It's kind of basing right now around the 23. It could be a case made that you get long right there. I also like this for a short. There you go. Looking at something along those lines. Now, it's 10 o'clock right now. Getting close to that 10:30 time frame. We do have sellers up here. It isn't the freshest level. It has been hit before, but could you say there's a parabolic move? Yeah, for the most part. Was the data today good or bad for the dollar? It was great. And yeah, this is massive dollar weakness coming in. And I say massive, it's 95 pips. It's got a 72 pip daily ATR. So yeah, rational move? No, of course not. So it is, again, we are looking for a reversal point at this point. We do have a zone, excuse me, sitting right above, right at the 110 mark. Oh my gosh, you gotta click it. Just send a message. Um, So yeah, I think we're being at 110. That's a big level here. I think we're looking for a reversal back down again. I don't think the European Union is stronger. They're obviously not raising at this point. They can say they're on a plateau, but so are we. And right now, it looks like um, we're on a plateau till at least June, and we've given more data up. Once they give their data up, they should have a big tumble back down again. So again, I would say I'd start looking for a reversal somewhere up in here. Not quite there yet. Almost there. You can drop it to a lower time frame and look for a reversal pattern. Look for a red candle, a green that doesn't go above, and another red, and look for push back down again. I also like the reversal here, and I think this will eventually kick in. It's not a today thing. How much does it have to move? Yeah, 130. So it's like 2 days worth of movement. This could be like a Monday, Tuesday thing. All right. But we'll throw an alert on there. You know. So overall, looking for this one to be red. Looking for it to pull back down, kind of come back into where normal is, and maybe tomorrow it does. Right? Maybe we see some really bad data. Euro pound, not really doing much. We were sitting right here yesterday. Actually, we're sitting. I'll get it right on. 0.5 pips. So did it say one? Yeah. So really not much. Down, up, found the sellers, went all the way down, grabbed this level, and went right back up to where the kind of stabilization point is. So not much. This one should move a little bit more tomorrow. I don't think it'll be a horrible trade. Remember, this one doesn't move a ton. It's only got a 36 pip daily ATAR. So really, it's moved 0 pips in 24 hours. At its peak, if you like caught it at the top of this one, you made 40 pips and then it immediately retraced. So again, parabolic move down. This data came out at 7 o'clock. What happened at 7 o'clock today? Right here, the GDP monetary policy. What did it do before the news came out? Ran up, ran up, ran up. So the 2 hours beforehand, there was one little pause. It ran up, ran up, ran up, ran up, and was sitting in a zone, sitting right there. And there was your response. Parabolic move into the confirmed zone that we had drawn yesterday, and then it retraced back up to the origin of the move. So amazing trade. I mean, I'd love to say, yeah, it looks really powerful, but it's only like 30 pips. So, but it is what it is. Again, this is how we talk about how important it is before news comes out. Look to see what happened an hour and a half beforehand. Did it push into a zone? And that's exactly what it did. Pushed right into a zone, provided opportunity. And the way you could have played this one is this one was kind of pushing up. You could have set an order saying, hey, listen, if it breaks through this level on the downside, get me in. And that's what it did. As soon as it broke through, you would have got your order triggered if you didn't want to take it up here. And, again, not a bad little trade there. Right now, I still think we're high in the curve. I think with all the data tomorrow, I think the euro's in a much more compromising situation with all the different countries that are involved with it. So I do think it does turn, roll, and flip back down. Again, the euro, the UK, not really in a good spot, but I think everybody knows what we got there, right? I think the European Union still got some things that people don't understand. We'll see. We'll see. Euro yen. So euro yen, we talked about the push down. We were sitting here yesterday, right here. Sorry, here. We talked about the basing on this line. And we're like, yeah, listen, this is not really news is not really like a trend continuation type tool. With it basing here and pulling back and trying, it's like, yeah, it's going to go. Like, it just looked like it was going to be a big move. And it was. It came all the way down, and we talked about 155. You can see it hit and pulled back and actually went even lower. And what it did is it was playing with this. And, we said, or I said yesterday, like, it's hard to do much with this because this is a clearing wick and then another clearing wick. Yeah, there's buyers in here, but very, very hard to actually draw any type of zone in here, right? By our standard rules, you're going to draw it this way. Am I drawing a zone that big? Like, I don't even know how many pips that is. 76 pips? No. I'm on a 30-minute chart. I'm going to draw a 76 pip zone? No. So it did come down. It did tag the 78, which is good. It actually went a little bit lower than the 78. So we can pull this one off. We know that, again, we have buyers coming in at 153.19 or 150. Let's just make this 20. Make it easy. 153.20. We got the push down that we were looking for. Again, we had an alert sitting on that one. The alert did trigger. You can see it over here. There's a whole bunch of them, right? This is euro yen right there. Triggered yesterday at 2 p.m. It was sitting right above and then just, what? You want to put this back on? There you go. Good job. Yay, good job. Um, so obviously the alert needs to be taken off. I mean, again, there's no reason to have the alert there anymore. Um, we talked about going short through it. Again, obviously you can see it's well past. This one actually ended up pushing down to got a 1 to 15, 1 to 14. Yeah. Huge mover, right? Huge mover. Um, so right now we can kind of leave this zone on. I think it's a great place for price to come back to. And we can highlight all the basing that occurred here, 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 and here. That's fine. I mean, we can run it from this side down and talk about it. You can see there's nothing in a 50. The 61 doesn't line up with anything, and there's a little bit of a backstop at the 78.6. So, the crazy part about this is where we were at 2 o'clock yesterday, and this one moved from 2 o'clock time frame. It moved 268 pips down, but since that time, since we hit 11 o'clock last night, it's rallied back 200. So, I mean, the reality is from when all the drama happened yesterday, we're 70 pips off. That's it. It has 151 daily ATR. It's 4 hour ATR is 73. So we're 4 hours from being back to where the start of the move was yesterday. That's it. And that's what happens. So using the 50, 61, I don't know, maybe we get a reversal. I don't know, maybe the 50s or the 60s. There's a little bit of a wick at the 61.8. Maybe they slow it down. But for the most part, did really much change? No. They said that they plan to do it, but they didn't say when. And things could still change. So, I mean, I think at this point we look for it to come up and maybe we start to stabilize in here. Overall, again, I hate these wicks. I really was hoping we could get all the way down and blow all those out. You could start to draw a bottom on this one and say, hey, listen, there's kind of a touch of it and a couple of front runs. You may say that there's a potential bottom right here. Right? Oops. You could say that 154.10 is the bottom potential, and top side you can kind of use this one, but it's not my favorite level. So overall, until we get up there, I would say I'm not interested in doing too much. If we do put a new top in and then we have like a failure to go higher type scenario, then yeah. It's a reversal point. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Whoa, what are you doing? Knocking everything over now, crazy. Yeah. You scared yourself, didn't you? Yeah. I think it's a potential area for reversal. Am I willing to pull the trigger when it hits 156? No. I want to see where the top is. I want to see how far it goes up. Again, this is not the extreme level. I would say I don't think this level's horrible. About 23, but see how it came back up again? Red, green, red came all the way down. I mean, I guess I could shrink this a little bit. I guess shrink it there. 17. It's a little far off from here, but I think that's probably. I think this zone up top is where kind of where the rock and the hard place is, right? If we have a rock and a hard place on both sides, right? I think those are kind of our two extremes right now. Is there a potential for this to be a somewhat of a, if we can get a, whoops, if we can get a push up, and then we pull back and it doesn't go as low, then I think we can potentially reverse off of that. There could be a reversal there, right? I say could. It should go there first, but again, it's more of a confirmation based trade, so you're not pulling the trigger on any of that. Okay. Looking at pound dollar, no difference. It looks just the same. Again, funny enough, what did we talk about yesterday about how important 125 was and what happened in an hour and a half? Here's the 12 is a red, 12:30 red, right? 1 red, slight green at 1:30, and then boom, it took off. They put it on sale. They used the 125, and then this thing went crazy. 140 pips almost instantaneously. Now, funny enough, you do see the wick over the wick magically at that old level that we talked about. We can remove that one now, and it's fine. I do think there's a level sitting right here, and there's a little. I think this is a great little wick over wick. But if you look to go back to the origin of the move, there's 95 pips in there, right? And this zone is only about 15 pips. So we're not there yet, but this is one of those ones that I like this zone. I think the way that this formed with coming back and pushing it this deep, again, this is another one of those ones that set it up and set an alert on it and forget about it until your look goes off. Right? There you go. Now, This one started the base beforehand. We did like the 126.76, and we said, hey, listen, if we can spike up there, great reversal level. Once it got front run and started the base in here and then came back and pushed up and then came back, you're like, oh, yeah, it's breaking. It's breaking. Why? Because it's forming an area of buyers. It did. It broke and went right through. Funny enough, though, it broke, and what did it do? It hit the top level, it came back, it grabbed the bottom level, and then pushed forward. So, funny enough, it did actually Harry Potter off of it. But as far as using it for a short, if you had tried to use it for a short, again, you would have shorted it here, right? There's what actually hit the zone, right? Well, guess what? It was forming a base below. So if you shorted it there, that's on you. You would have got stopped out. But had you followed the rules where we're looking for a push, a base, and a pullback, yeah, it pushed up, it based, and it pulled back. It did the pattern I just drew, right? The push through, right? The kind of the pull over, the down and up, right? Right? One of those things. Well, that's exactly what it did. It just did it here, right? Pushing higher. So, kind of did what it was supposed to do. We can remove this one, although the level was used there. I think right now, just to keep it clean, and we'd actually put this dotted line on there yesterday. Did we go to a 4-hour? Yeah. We were talking about this level right here. Again, fresh level, no, but it did have a pretty good response out of it. Let's remove that. These are old. Let's take those off. Let's go all the way across. Yeah. We can take that off. We can take this off. That 78 was hit. That is fine. I still like that. I'm leaving that there. When that eventually comes back down again, and it will. It's like, what the heck is that noise? It's the Austin Power song. It is. He's not watching Austin Powers. You know Austin Powers, like the song in the beginning, like when he's doing like the all the names and stuff like that, the whistling noise, the whistle song. That's what I'm hearing. But he's just watching. I think it's Blippy, but the Austin Power song. I know that's not actually Austin Power song, but yeah, you guys get the point. Anyway, I like this one. Again, we're gonna look for the base when we get a little bit closer, but again, I think it's a decent level sitting down here. I think it's a nice short. And again, is it gonna hit today? No. No. If it did, something really crazy happened. It's 150 pips down. It's a little bit over an ATR, but eventually price will rock back down below 126. And when it does, there's all the requirements. There's all your ingredients we need for a nice little push to the downside. 15 pips worth of risk, 45 in the other direction. It has a total of 96 pips worth of profit sitting in there. Love it. Put that on there. Put an alert. Let yourself know. Now, is there a reversal up top? Yeah, there could potentially be a reversal coming in right now. It's 10:16. Again, it's kind of running out of steam. The data was actually strong U.S. data, and I'm sure what happened was it was the market basically saying, okay, you guys want this one strong? Good. We'll sell it. And now we're just seeing a reversal from it. So I actually won't be surprised. It's not triggered right now. It should. It kind of needs one more surge, but it's about the same thing. It's about 15 pips. 1 to 3 only brings it back to right about there. Again, kind of the origin of this morning's move and kind of close to that 23.6 level. So I think there's a reversal in here. Hopefully that's not the top on there because that missed it by just like kind of like give us one more surge, just a little bit more. That's 1.8 pips. It's got a 1.6, 1.8 spread. So hopefully that is not the top. Hopefully we get one more little surge and then it kind of resets itself a little bit to the downside. And again, it's another 45 pips in there. Or 50 pips, sorry. Pound yen. So pound yen. We were looking for a base and a big push down. It just went down. It didn't even base in there. Well, it did base. At 130 it based. Look, it based above and we said, hey, listen, when it's bracing here, it's going to break this level. It is. And when it came down and based here, you're like, yep, it's basing. Please just give us the pullback. It didn't give us the pullback. It left without us, unfortunately. It went down 283 pips. We drew the zone. We said, hey, listen, this is the next time we have any confirmed buyers all the way down here. And what did it do? It came down here and it went just past it. And then you started the base off the black line where we put our profit target. And that was pushing back again. So, we were looking for this pattern, right? The base, and we got the base. Check. It went down. And then we're like, come on, just pull back. Pull back. Give it to us. And it didn't give it to us. What it actually did was this. It based there. That's really what happened. This base told it was going to break. It based again, and it just didn't pull back to give us the trade. Unfortunately, it ran out of time a little bit. But overall, again, it kind of went right down to where we did. I said, hey, I would love for this to skyrocket all the way down to here. I want to blow all this out. And look, we blew this out. We blew this big wick out, and we finally blew this big wick out. Thank God. So I'm happy about that one. Um, as far as where this would need to be adjusted at the bottom, we can adjust it a little bit down. And again, we had that level drawn there where those buyers had stepped in the past. It's a decent level. Again, pushed it to the brink, but then kind of took two bounces. Didn't get a red, green, red until kind of here, right? You can see here the red went lower, so it invalidated it. When you have the green, red, and then remember it's candles, not color. It's colors, not candles. There's where your confirmation would have came in, and it kind of pulled back a little bit. You can see it. It's kind of probably do it there. You can see it did go away, pull back to the red green, I'm sorry, the green red green, and then it took off. So again, nice reversal. You would have had to trade this one at about 6:30 this morning. You could have potentially got into it about 3:30 this morning, but overall, I don't think it was a nice little reversal point. We called for it yesterday. We didn't set up a trade on it because we were assuming that we get stuck a little bit, but that's where we're looking for a reversal to come in. Um, Thankfully, the pound yen, it delivered. I wanted all this gone, and now it's all officially gone. We can't see it. As we start pushing back up again, we have clean, and we know now that we have this right here, right? A little bit of a hiccup down here, but for the most part, we have a decent run down to 76.42. Oops. So, and again, we've talked about this pattern over here at 76.42 for a while. So yeah, not a bad spot. So yeah, this one went. We got the base. We just didn't get the pullback because of the news, but it did what we asked it to do. So thankful for that one. We can remove it now. And again, we drew this yesterday, like base in here, base in here. We can take this down. You can see poor 23.6 people didn't even slow down for you. So yeah, again, great as a confirmation, not great as a using the force, right? Right. There are no Jedi using Fibonacci. Take this one off now. That's not a horrible level. Again, that's where we were basing yesterday. I'm wondering again, because it is backstop, will we get some artificial assistance in that one? See, and it did pull back. I mean, there's your base. There's your pullback. It just, we wanted a little bit cleaner real pullback. I mean, so I guess technically, here, let's draw it dead on just to see if it truly came back. Yeah, there's the bottom there. That's what I was trying to do was get it to touch. Actually, that goes a little bit past. See, that's fine. This is what I was trying to do. See how this is the red? I don't know if you can see it or not. This red is actually below the bottom here. And this one missed it. I don't know if it's going to let me put it on. There you go. I have it dead on there, and it's dead on over there. So it technically did do it. I mean, again, we're looking for this. Base, pull back, a little bit of a base, pull back up, and then drop. So we technically did get it there. It was kind of here, and it kind of came up. I would have liked it to go a little bit further, maybe to like there. But again, depending on how aggressive you were with that news, and the news came out right here, this big red candle. Yeah. So overall, did what it did. I'm glad that it did it. I'm glad that it wiped all that stuff out. I'm glad we have a new bottom. I don't love the bottom, but it's much better than having all those big wicks. So it's definitely a nice upgrade. Happy about that one. Happy about that one. Now with this push up again, obviously everything's a wave, comes back and forth. I think there's the potential for shorts up here. 181.68. It's again, it's backstopped by the 61.8, so that's always a nice level. There is a base. It did touch. Again, that's where the Harry Potter went off of originally. So with it pushing down, I think that's probably a decent level. And I'd be okay with that one. I don't think that is the worst of spots, right? It's not the worst of spots to be able to take something. Dollar CAD. So Dollar CAD, it punched through, right? We said, look to see what happens, but I didn't really like the way Dollar CAD was setting up. You can see an hour and a half beforehand, right? There's your 12, 12:30, 1, and 1:30 just kind of stabilized. I was like, oh God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But we talk about this all the time. If we load up before the news, that typically tells you where it's going to go. It did. It loaded up. It went right up, 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 and then boom, just straight down. And it was a nice move too. This is a good one. 87 pips. It's got a 72 pip ATR. So 1 day's worth of movement in 2 candles. Gotta love it. The good thing is too, we did have a wick over wick here, but we blew through both these levels and we're like, use them kind of sparingly. Funny enough, violated the level, base came back up, grabbed that level, and then continued to the downside. So again, yet another Harry Potter trade over here at that 130 at 135. So let's remove these. The 78 was touched. We're well past. By the way, alert, triggered, Harry Potter trade. I like them apples, right? 2 o'clock this morning, triggered. 10 for 30. Actually, it's 10.2. So it was 30.6. So again, 10 for it's basically 10 for 30. How you like them apples? We talked about that one. There's your alert, right? There's your alert. Triggered at 11 o'clock last night. I'm sorry, not 11 o'clock. At what 9 o'clock, right? 9:10, I think, is when it went off. Right here. Uh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. 9:10. So there's your trigger, and all I did was pull back. So easy 10 for 30. Another one. Gotta love that one. We talked about 135 would be good. Right now, I look for a stabilization point. Look for this one to roll back up again. Right now, we have weak dollar and strong oil. So both of these things are fundamentally, obviously, pushing this to the downside. Again, we just got out of that Harry Potter trade at 7:30 this morning. So typically after that, we're waiting for it to restabilize and start to reverse again. Right now, you can see pretty ugly, right? Down, up, down, up, down, and we're still in the same area. So it's more or less gone sideways, but a nice little overnight trade. Again, use those alerts, right? Once it's smacked through and pushed down, you could have said, okay, 11 o'clock. All right, it's 10 for 30. If it pulls back up, get me short. And that's exactly what it did, right? You were sleeping. I'm assuming you were up by 7, but nice little 10 for 30 as well. Dollar Swiss. Okay, so dollar Swiss. Wow, we drew this one pretty good too yesterday. There you go. We talked about it there. It loaded up and kind of pushed back. We're like, man, it got front run. And what did it do? 12 was flat, absolutely zero. Green straight up. And then what did it do? It came up, it touched it, and then boom, big push to the downside. Thankfully, it did blow up, and we said, hey, listen, get me through here. Here's where our profit target is. Take us all the way down. And it did. Thank God it cleaned out all this junk. Like, man, I don't know why Pal couldn't have done this like a week ago. We can run this all the way down. You can see right here. Anybody that was trading that 23.6, sorry, you definitely got stopped out on it. And then it came a little bit lower. Again, right now, I think it is a little bit whippy back and forth, and this is because of the overnight session. So areas to look at right now. There obviously is some basing going on right here in this level. Do I love this for a Harry Potter? I mean, there is obviously a big emotional push to the downside. No, not really. I do think obviously this one comes back up again. I'm looking for the reversal patterning in. I don't like all these wicks coming through. I know it's broken us a little bit higher. Like, oh my God, look, there's a base right here though. There's a base, and yeah, okay. We'll see how far down we go. I just think it's going to have a little bit of problems. Remember, this has only got a 60 pip ATR, so this one is not cranking in 90 or 120 pips a day. It is a smaller area, but just like all the other ones we saw, it literally loaded up. It literally loaded up right beforehand to a level that we had talked about. Again, 786, we didn't love it. It had been there a few times, but I mean, if the market pushes it right into that zone right beforehand, it's trying to tell you something, right? And again, nice mover from that zone, 89 pips. So I mean, that could have been your 2-3 days worth of movement there, just in one little get go. So yeah, right now we just had an alert go off for this guy. We were looking for this one, and we've drawn this one a while ago. We know that we have this. We're playing with this right now. We had a target down here at 86.15, 85.71. Obviously, there's this dotted line. We were looking for some type of a base around here. Right now, if we bring it all the way over, we're looking for the base, right? I think it's great. We knew we were looking for a base in here, right? And actually, here, let me bring this back one more time, just so you can kind of see, right? I will put on the forever zone. Right? We're looking for a base before a pop down or a base in, and we're looking for a push down. There's another hit, which is awesome. There's another hit, which is awesome. There's another hit, which is awesome. And now we're trying to find that base. So it is triggered, and what we're looking for is some type of sideways movement. So this one is lining up. I would say potentially in the next hour, 2 hours, we are able to get that one. We needed to define the level of base. Maybe it reverses back and gives us one more red candle, and then we come up and start forming the greens. But we're looking for a base. It could be here. We don't have it yet. I'll change this to like purple so we know what it's different. It could be there. It may form here. I don't know. It's forming the base probably right now. But we are looking to take this one short. And as I said before, overall targets, 86.15, 85.71. This is another one of those emotional responses that we are looking to retrace. But again, the alert just went off. You can see it over here. Where is it? Dollar Swiss right here. Right. That one's still on. Oh, that one's still on. It was this one. Oh, no, that one expired. Where is it? I just got it. It had to been that one. 10. Did I just throw that one on? I didn't create one for dollar Swiss. I think this one hasn't updated yet. Yeah, this one went off. This one, it says active, but it just got triggered. It just got triggered a little while ago. That's the alert I got on my phone. So anyway, yeah, I'm looking for a dollar, Swiss. If it goes back up and gives us a bottom, great. I love that. It's been here so many times. It finally broke through. I think this hit 4 or 5. We're looking for the basing, the pullback, and the short. So again, looking for targets both down here. Dollar yen. So dollar yen. Here's what we drew yesterday. Said, oh my God, how nice would that be if we could go here and blow everything out? Please do it. Please do it. And we said, hey, listen, 145. We got a little bit of Harry Potter action there. Again, we can carry this down, but we're like, yep, there's a base right there. And look what happened. It came down and it started the base below it, and it actually kind of held, right? And this one did do the pattern. I mean, it's not that it didn't. Again, when you see 2 wicks like this, you're like, oh yeah, there's sellers there, right? You draw that one, you're saying, okay, there are sellers there, right? And it did, and I'll remove this. Remember, this is how far I wanted to push down. Here, I'll just move it over here, right? It did form the base. Love those tops. Push down, based, pulled back, and then the news took it. Again, Harry Potter continuations are not really news-based trades, right? Not really. Do they work? Yeah, but I don't want you to think that like this is like an everyday occurrence. But again, what did it do? It came down to a zone. It based before the zone. It pushed down. It kind of paused. It came back up again, hit that zone, and then took off. And that's exactly what it did. Again, smaller, right? This one, obviously, the base was about that long. The push down was about that big. It based to there, and then it came back up, and it was more like that. Right there. Okay? So, again, standard Harry Potter. This is what happens. You base before the zone. You're looking for it to push down, pull back up. And, again, I drawn that on dollar Swiss I drew it on. There you go. Looks just like that. Base, pull down, pull back up, and short. So I don't think I can copy this and paste it because it's a different number, so it gets all screwed up. But that's what I just drew. It's the same. Ooh, that's all over the place. Right. Base, drop, base, up, down. So where we are now. I think it's a good spot. We've wiped all that out. We overtook the entire territory. Thank God they're all gone. So that guy's out. We said, hey, listen, it's probably not a single move, but maybe by tomorrow. And it did. It listened. Uncle Warren was on our side again. I love it when Uncle Warren is a participant in the program. This is kind of where our base is right now at the bottom. I think this is probably, whoops, didn't want to agree. This is probably a bit of a stabilization point. Obviously, there's a lot of chunky stuff in. We could draw this from top to bottom. You could say, oh, God, look at this. Yeah, there's a 23 in there, but it's more the fact that we have, again, all these sellers in here. We've already hit them once. We kind of hit it again, but I think it's trying. It's so far out of what its range should be. It is pulling back up right now, but we're still at 348 pips. It is a daily ATR of 170. And again, that's being pushed higher. That's big, but it's still over double, right? You look at Bollinger's, you look at Bollinger's on this one. It's absolutely insane. Right? You can see the average. I mean, again, this is decent movement here. Obviously, this got a little bit crazy here, but we'll take it here. This is a little bit bigger than what the spectrum is, right? You can see that this is, on average, and then it gets small, and then it kind of pinches in, and then it's kind of like, yeah, right there. That's about the average. And then you come in here, like, there's the average. But if you drew this one from like peak to trial, it's probably like there is how wide they spread. Look at the difference between those two. So obviously a little bit emotional. We expect a bit of a retracement on this one, and I would expect that to come in. Not all in one day, but probably start to cycle up. The one thing that will mess this one up, and again, this is why I said be a little bit more cautious with this one when you trade it for news like this. You have the yen in here, right? BOJ decides that this is the weekend. They're like, oh, this is what our next meeting, or they do something about getting out of negative rates. This thing goes off to the races. That's BOJ is known to do that. They'll tell you we're doing nothing. They say it. They haven't done anything yet, but we know that it's coming. So the fact that we know that it's coming, just use a little extra caution. It's not Friday yet, but do not hold this one over the weekend. Right? Absolutely a no go. Oil at 72. So yesterday we said, hey, listen, we got a bit of a racetrack here. If we get above 69.64, we were sitting right here. We were chopping back 4. And what did we say? Same pattern. break, base, pullback. This is the exact opposite. There's your base, there's your pull up, there's your base, there's your pullback, and it went over. It's just a reversal of that other pattern. We said yesterday, look for it to go, and we said, hey, profit taking at 70.77. What did we hit? 70.77, and we started to pull back again, right? That's where it kind of pulled back. It's like, I need more buyers, and it got help, and it ended up punching higher. Good thing is, again, we knew this level up top wasn't great, right? There's the original level. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Should not have held for the 5th one. It slowed down just a bit and then went through. So again, no surprise. 5th hit we are not interested in. But the cool thing is we can take all this stuff out. We can take this level here. We're past that. We know we have another small level coming up, and this is a larger time frame based level. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff going on right there. We got a little bit more room to run on that one. Are we pulling the trigger on this one? No, but I think that's a great target for anybody that's long today. So overall, Harry Potter came in here like we talked about it. That's why we circled it here. We're like, this is big candles. Again, I'm not even really that big of an oil trader, but we nailed it here, nailed it on this side and this other direction, all because of these level of wicks. But right now, this is out. We can take this off. We can take again, I don't need the draw line anymore. This level, it's officially out. We don't need it. Again, Harry Potter, gone. We'll leave that, but I'm going to leave this here just so I know that there's buyers sitting down. And again, our profit, actually our 1 to 3 and our profit are both taken. So I think we're high on the curve. 72.05 up top. Again, you can see 72. I'm sorry, not 75. 72.06. 72.40-ish. I think we start looking for this one to turn and roll. I think we're in that close proximity. Wait for a confirmation to come in. There's any number of reasons why. Again, it's funny. Retail sales is great. And again, the one category that was outlining was a decline in gasoline purchases by 2.9%. Right? There was a decline. It's not like more people are buying gas. It was less. It was one of the biggest negative factors in retail sales, even though they were great. And what's the response from oil? Make it more expensive. Right? People aren't buying it. Make it more expensive. They'll love it. Make it $80 and they will buy it all. That's exactly. It's like, did you even read the report? Did you see what they said? Right? Oh no, people are not buying gas. Make it more expensive. They'll buy it. And that's what we're seeing right now. So, hey, who knows? Right? Normally prices are supply and demand driven, right? A lot more people are buying gas right now. That means there'll be a bigger strain on demand, which means what? The price should go higher, right? High demand, lower supply, price goes higher. But what do we have? People buying a whole lot less gasoline. And what do? We make the price go higher. So it is what it is. Fundamentally, it should catch up. 72.41, I think if we get up there. We may even be trying to, again, it's 10:30 right now. I wouldn't be surprised. If this thing ended right now, we're only 6 minutes in. So we got a while to go. But right now, this is starting to look like it wants to put those consecutive tops in, which means we could potentially start rolling. And I don't know, maybe later today, maybe we shoot for 70.75. Maybe that's where we're looking at. 75.80, right? Maybe 70.80 is on the radar for where we're shooting for tomorrow morning. We'll see. Natural gas, let me guess, up because of mild temperatures. They tick up with spotlight on weekly storage report. The storage report, nobody cares. You can see yesterday, 11:30, we talked about 237. We drew it saying it was a little bit above. It did hit. It hit 11:30, pulled back again. Again, there's buyers over here. And then we just chop back and forth. Hit it again and push back down again. And then hit it again, right? Not the cleanest of zones. It's 4 candles, but there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and 4 is kind of what broke it, but we're still sitting in that same territory right now. So somebody just needs to say mild temperatures and it'll move again. And then everybody will blame it on mild temperatures. Gold. Any surprise? No. Gold actually didn't give us the signal as much as we wanted. It kind of just flatlined. It hit like 10:30. It's like, no, don't move. And it didn't. It stopped moving. Is it right to take off? Yeah, it's kind of what people are looking for. Every chart was showing us that it was going to be a dollar weakness based trade. Did it deserve to jump that far? I don't know about that far, right? You can see we were talking for, again, get profit here. There's a big zone up here, and you can see it hit the zone, pulled back, and started the base. Hit it again, pulled back, and started the base. Hit it, pulled back, and was grabbing those buyers again. Hit it again, pulled back, and used those buyers. And now it finally broke through. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. This is hit number 4, right? In close proximity. But the thing I like about this one is you can see all these are riding, and it's a little hard to see, but there's a zone sitting right there. So, yeah, it's kind of one of these ones that's like, hey, you know what? This sucker breaks 2024. Yeah, maybe 2024 will be the year. I don't know. Right? It's play on words there. If that breaks, we got a nice little Harry Potter down here. And we know we got 2000 again. We bounced up and down on 2000. We know it has a magnetic attraction. So when this comes through, I would say that We're almost looking for like a profit target here, right at 2000, 2050-ish, or 2000. I'd say 2000, and yeah, I'd say right around 2000, and then 1993, right? Wasn't that when the Terminator came for Sarah? Was it 93, 95, something like that? Yeah. So nice two little targets. It may continue to grind higher, but I think once we break the 2024, that's where we look for this to push back down again. Now, silver, right? Silver, you see, is having, again, it did the same thing. We were actually calling for a push down first. And again, I kind of drew it. I missed it by like 30 minutes. It should have been there. We were calling for this to push down and then skyrocket higher. It actually didn't. It actually just kind of got stuck in base. It did go up, right? It did obviously go higher. We talked about 2390. You can see we hit it, pulled back, hit it, pulled back, hit it, pulled back. There's 3 hits right there. Price started down here, and again, it looks very similar to gold. There's a level of basing, and it was using that, using them, punch through, and we're still playing. We had a level sitting right there. So it's got a lot of stuff up here that it's going to be a potential turn and roll point. So with this said now, again, you can put same alert. I think if we have a break below 2370, 2370, looks like, whoops. I made that really difficult for everybody. 2370 is where the break is, looking for a push back down to the 23 mark. So two decent trades on there. Dollar, again, dollar coming back, you can see it's like, oh, is that a bottom? Well, it is 102, so it could potentially be. Let's see, we got indices wise on here. Again, obviously this is a big up tomorrow. Everybody was looking for this. This is literally what we were waiting for. And what did the market do beforehand? Again, I'm on the 15. That's why it looks like there's a lot more candles. But starting at like 11, 12 o'clock, loaded it up, loaded it up, loaded it up, loaded it up. And fun enough, there was a level sitting right there. And that's what it loaded up for news. And then exploded. 100% justified, right? 100% justified based off what they said. It was certainty talking about, cuts. It was what they needed. Now, kind of stuck, right? Let's see. The 915 is up here. So again, kind of at highs. I would expect this to probably turn and roll back down. Not that it's supposed to be a negative day, but there's just so much momentum forward because of that data. Everybody should come back and there should be plenty of profit taking. So we should push down. But as far as opening print goes, 915. No, it's not really a base. There's no confirmed base on this one. If anything, you would look this and said, hey, listen, there's your Globex high right there at 9 o'clock. We broke it at 9:45. Go long. And then that's immediately why I pulled back. So if anything, I'd say this is more of a bull trap than anything else. 930 kind of pushed it up. I mean, this one had a base up top, right? You can say there's a base there. And, this is late last night, confirmed at 3 o'clock for the European Open. So you could have made a case on this one. It wasn't horrible. It was kind of more sideways. There was nothing protected at the bottom until where we are right now. So this one kind of did. Let's see. Did it hit? And actually, this is, sorry, not opening print. This would have been 9:45 that this one actually triggered. Yeah, 1-3 is right there. So yeah, you would have done it on this one. So again, not bad. You had to wait a little bit. It tried and it needed just a little bit more time, but it was okay. Much better than what ES had to offer. 8:30 punched it up. 9:15. It's kind of a, maybe, what? In all fairness, maybe you would have got stopped on this one. This is a 4:30 touch from 4:30 yesterday, so kind of not the best one, but it did load up, and then we were sitting here at 9:30. So I don't know. Maybe you got into this one. You'd still be in it. I don't know if you would have got stopped out, depending on your candle and how you actually should have drawn that one there. It's real close. I don't know if you would have got stopped out on that one or not. Probably not. It would have been close. It depended on your broker, but you'd be a little positive right now. But do I love it? Not really. It's a lot of basing. And again, kind of popped up early and went. Russell, obviously up. Russell should be. Funny, Russell happened to turn on that spot. That's an old level from a while ago. That's why we have it red. It must have been on from a lower time frame because we can't see it on the hourly. But anyway, we had a zone there. That's what it decided it wanted to turn off of. So maybe Uncle Warren saw that I had a red line there yesterday. But yeah, same thing. It hour and a half. I'm on an hourly chart. Sorry. Let me go to a 30-minute real quick. What did it do? It loaded up before the news. There was a gap there because of the contract switch, so not much we could do with that one. Loaded up, took off, absolutely 100% justified. This one did exactly what it should have done. And then it kind of flatlined, and then today we're like, no, this is great. This is great. And you can see, obviously, 9:30, it went up, hit that level. We had it ready for a sell, and it kind of is pushing back. So Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I expect they'll all be a little bit more timid today. So, all right, with that, let's go ahead and do our drawing. Let's see how it works. Give you guys the 230. I should say girls because it's two girls and Will. Two girls and a boy. 8 more seconds. Looks like our big wigs are not playing today. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bam! Look at that. All right. Ultimate fairness today. Ultimate fairness. All right. Winner of today's drawing is Debbie. So yesterday Moreno, today Debbie. There we go. Look at that. Everybody's getting a chance right now for the holidays. Let's go ahead and give Debbie her 25. All right. So, whoops, 245s. No. There we go. As I said, a lot of decent news tomorrow. Also, some pretty good stuff. It always gets confusing. The big thing is looking for 50s over here. The ones that are closest to 50 is going to be this flash services. They're already below, so if it doesn't make 50, it's not the end of the world. Germany has the potential to go over, and then again, the UK has the potential to go under over here. So we could have potentially some bad data. So some decent stuff. Empire State Manufacturing is not great either. Industrial production also expected to be good, which could be a disappointment as well. That's right before we get on tomorrow. And then obviously the US data at 9:45, but we'll be on for them. So yeah. And the big thing, I think this is a big one too. Manufacturing, it's expected to go up. If manufacturing breaks 50, it's kind of like, hey, what data was the Fed actually looking at? Is my big question. So with that, I'm out of here. Thank you for joining me today. Again, a lot of drama, a lot of fun in the last 24 hours, and we got more coming tomorrow morning. Some big moves out there, although they all are starting to kind of get more back to where they should be. I mean, pound yen down at 108 is not really a big deal. 113. They're all leveling out. So with that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great day, and I'll see you then.